Hello everyone, welcome to Seminar and Field Study. I'm Dr. Yaşar Budur. I am your professor in this class. Couple things about myself. I'm a professor of elementary education in the Department of Teaching and Learning at Georgia Southern University. I'm the director of the EDS programs, also in the same department. I have been teaching this class for some time, since about 2007, and it's really one of my favorite classes to teach because you have different projects and I get to see different studies and different results. It's a lot of fun for me and it's really meaningful for the students too. In addition to this class, I teach curriculum and instruction in the EDS program. I teach cultural issues, which is a class taken by many students from different programs. And then sometimes I work with doctoral students on their dissertations. Now, my goal in this video is to give you a brief orientation to our class. I have set up the online environment, and I will talk about the online environment a little bit. And then I will talk about the process through which you are going to complete your study. Now, couple things. Up to this point, you have worked with different people as you worked on your action research study. You conceptualized your study in current issues and current trends and issues class, which was ESED 8130. And then you wrote your methodology, or you wrote your proposal in EDUR 8434, which is field-based research study, and that's the class you took probably last semester. And this is our current class is the last class in the series, and it is the capstone experience. This is the very last class, and then once you finish your study, you are going to graduate. So it's just wonderful. Let's see. One important thing before I start talking about everything else is the IRB, and this is something that I have communicated with you a couple times through email. You have to have your IRB approval, because without the IRB you cannot implement your study, you cannot collect your data, and without your data you cannot work on your paper and you cannot complete anything. So it's extremely important that the IRB is taken care of early on. As a matter of fact, I actually want people to submit their IRB paperwork before they come to my class, but I don't know if any of you got to do that, and hopefully you did. If not, I'm hoping that you're going to get your IRB approval fast and we will get to work on your papers. Now, as an EDS student working on the action research project, you're going to work with a group of people, a group of 3 people, and this is your EDS committee. These 3 people are your EDS committee chair, and this is somebody that you identified a while ago. And then your method person, and your method person is the one who was teaching the field-based research, and the 3rd person on your committee will be me, ESED 8839 instructor. The significance of the committee is that once you're finished with your paper, you're going to present your study and you're going to defend your study in front of your committee. So these 3 people and you will be in a room talking about your study. So and in the process of writing your paper, you will get a lot of feedback from me this semester, but you're going to get feedback from your chair also. Now, let's see. The way in which you and I will work in this class is that because everybody has a different project, I'm going to work with you guys on a one-on-one basis. So how I work with you will be based on your individual needs. There will not be a whole group instruction in this class, really. It will be based on your needs, and then the actual process will be you send me your paper, I read it, I write feedback, and I send it back to you, and then you revise your paper based on my feedback. That's how the interaction will take place. It's really important at this point for me to emphasize that you really have to take my feedback very seriously, and you really have to follow my lead. Another important thing to emphasize is that because you have a committee chair, it's good for you to get feedback from your committee chair also. So I'm going to require every one of you to submit your paper to your committee chair every single time you submit your paper to me. Some of you may get feedback from your chair, some of you may not, but even if you don't get feedback, you're keeping your committee chair in the loop, and that is just wonderful. Okay, every time you submit your paper to me, you will submit it to your committee chair also. Now, after the IRB is taken care of and you have collected your data, then you're going to analyze your data and you're going to write the remaining two pieces in your paper, and those two pieces are the results and discussion. The results is a presentation of your findings, and the discussion is the meaning that you get out of your findings, how you make sense of your findings, and then you situate how you make sense of your findings in the literature, and that completes your paper. After your paper is up to a certain standard, and after I feel that your paper is ready for defense, I tell you, okay, you're good to go, let's schedule your defense and let's hold your defense. And then after the defense is done and you pass, then that's the end of the program for you. But it is very common for people to go to the defense and leave the defense with some minor revisions to make on their papers. And the reason for this is very simple. You're going to get most of your feedback, if not all, from me up to the defense. But once you get to the defense, your paper will be read by 3 different people. So 3 different sets of eyes will see 3 different, papers perhaps. So some of the things I miss, they may catch. So we might ask you to make minor revisions. This happens. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're going to fail the defense. As a matter of fact, when I tell you that you're good to go to defense, that's a very good sign, because that means I think that you're ready to defend your paper. I think that your paper is ready for defense. That means that most likely, very, very likely, that you're going to finish the defense successfully. Now, on our course website, you're going to find some basic documents. You're going to find the syllabus. You're going to find the tentative schedule. You will see that I have set up drop boxes for paper submissions. You will also find a sample paper, and this is a paper from one of my students from previous semester. So make time to read that paper. It's a good paper. It will give you an idea about what your paper will be like at the end of the semester. And then I have a couple other things that will be useful to you. I have a forum on the main website, on the course website, called Ask the Instructor. So whenever you have questions, please post your questions on that forum and I'll answer them. If you have a question that concerns you only, say you have a health problem and then you have to communicate with me about that, you might want to email that question to me. You don't want to put it out there for everybody. Just email it to me simply. So I'm hoping we will have a wonderful semester. We are going to work well and fast, and then we're going to finish your study, and then we're going to celebrate together at the end. So I wish all of you a wonderful semester, and then I look forward to working with all of you. Okay, goodbye.